Creative Magic Club. What's up? This is Sarah Mack and welcome to Creative Magic Club. Together, we'll discover inspirational stories of creative entrepreneurs living out their dreams, doing the work they are most passionate about, and building wealth in magical and fun ways. While building a six-figure income as a writer and coach, helping other women to launch their dream businesses, I've connected with so many incredible people and seen it proven again and again that you can thrive financially doing whatever it is you are passionate about. I'm here to share life-changing strategies for mindset, making money, and reaching more people with your work in a business and life filled with creativity, freedom, and fun. Hi, welcome back to Creative Magic Club, the podcast. I am your host, Sarah Mack from withsarahmack.com, and I'm so excited to be back. This is my second episode of the year, and it feels so good to be creating this content for you again. And this week will be a continuation of the conversation around the new shift of Pluto into Aquarius. And we're going to be focused on the money aspect of the conversation. Last week, I was talking about some of the major themes and how you can reflect on those to create content and to tell stories that are really going to land and, allow people to see you in your audience, to turn up the dial on attracting your soulmate clients. And I also shared some prompts for the individual house placements, depending on which house Aquarius lands in your chart. So definitely go to my Instagram, Creative Magic Club, and look for the post for a journal prompt for your particular Aquarius placement. That's going to allow you to bring to the surface some of the major themes that are actually going to be playing out for you for the next 20 years. This is a major placement that's happening right now with Pluto moving into Aquarius for the next 20 years. So these are themes that we definitely want to be paying attention to. We're definitely going to be experiencing life circumstances that will draw our attention to these things, whether we like it or not. So knowing what they are for you can really shed light on, the direction you're moving, how you're creating, what you're creating, who you're creating for, and to give you an opportunity to deeply introspect and have some breakthroughs that, will make this a very fruitful time for you. So, as I mentioned last week, some of the major themes we're all going to be feeling are power and accountability within the Aquarian energies of innovation, humanitarianism, and deep collective transformation. So obviously, I'm excited to dive into talking about money, and I've created some really powerful prompts that I'm going to walk you through in this episode for you to take a little time to check in with your relationship with money and get your rubber gloves on, do some cleaning to open you up to the expansion of more power, more integrity, more authenticity, and more fun in your capacity to earn, create, receive, grow, and share money and wealth during the next 20 years. So Pluto rules Scorpio, which is all about looking at and transforming our pain and our trauma and our wounds. And let me share a little bit about what's been going on for me in this season. So after having long COVID for pretty much all of last year, I finally started getting my energy back. And this week I actually went to CrossFit, which I feel is some type of extraordinary human accomplishment, especially for me who, I usually do daily gentle yoga, which definitely goes a long, long, long way. But this is just me taking it to the next level in, prioritizing getting my fitness back and building strength at newer levels. I mean, I've always had a pretty good level of fitness throughout my life, but definitely this last year has put my body into a different place, and it's it's not the same as it used to be. Having dealt with fatigue, it was a fine balance in keeping my fitness levels without, adding to the fatigue that was already kind of a challenge for me to live my life and run my business and, give myself the time to really rest and heal. But it's been paying off, and I'm getting back to more normal energy levels. So it feels really good to have that bandwidth, in my body to be able to take on a little bit more of a challenge, knowing that it's going to create more energy for me and it's going to create more power for me as I commit to this process. And obviously taking it at my own pace. I'm not going to be one of those crazy people who like pushes themselves. Like, I'm pretty good at that. Hopefully I won't get sucked into the cult. But it reminds me of a time when I was living upstate in New York, and I was 5-minute walk away from a yoga studio, and I signed up and started going to classes 3 times a week, and just giving myself that like extra layer of fitness really increased my energy, and it really had an impact on my productivity, my energy levels, my emotional state. And I started to see the change in my business. And that was when I dramatically saw just like increase month after month after month. So I invite you to reflect on the theme of power. Like, how is your relationship with power within yourself, within your physical body, within your mind, within your spirit, within your work, within your community, within your support circles and people? And how can you, where are you being invited to stretch, maybe get a little bit uncomfortable? I'm also going through shifts in my business and working with a new social media manager, bringing in more support that's going to create a foundation for more growth, but growth in a way that is awesome, and that feels good, not growth in a way of like hustle and burn, but growth in a way of I'm supported. And yeah, it's uncomfortable, right? Because it's different and it's change, and it's asking me to let go of old way of doing things. Same as going to CrossFit is not comfortable, right? Like, I was in pain for the last 3 days in the muscle recovery after that hard work. But I know the payoff is going to create more freedom and power to realize more of my visions and to have that fulfillment. So what could that be for you right now? And this combination of Pluto energy with Aquarius energy is kind of contrasting and uncomfortable in combination. That's really asking us to go first and to go deep in order to reach higher. So this is about tapping into our power with the intention to uplift the collective, to innovate and to move humanity in a more positive direction. So I know anyone who's here, who's listening to this, like, you have a beautiful vision for your work and for the world and for the communities that you are impacting and desire to impact more. And we need power in order to do that, right? And especially, as women, it can be a complex relationship to unpack with power. And there can be a lot of belief work and identity work that we need to do, or, any marginalized communities. We can have a lot of negative associations with power because of the colonial structures in which we have, battled against all odds to succeed in, depending on, obviously it's different for everybody, right? But so let's think about some of these themes in your relationship with money. So something that I've been thinking about, Aquarius is all about technology. And I was reflecting on what are some of the technologies that have allowed me to have more ease in my relationship with money. And this is just so perfect for the themes of Pluto, because sometimes ease really does come at the cost of moving through a lot of discomfort. And that's so much of what this work is about. So I was, obviously I've been working with money mindset and money mindset rituals for years now. And my relationship with that work has evolved. And I've really been thinking about what is important for me to continue using, what maybe isn't so necessary. Where do I need to lean harder into discomfort, and where do I just get to make it easier for myself to remain consistent, to be able to continue to benefit from the use of the tools that I've been using, to continue to grow, to continue to create more ease and harmony in my relationship with money without it feeling like, I have to do 2 hours of tapping and crying in order to get there like I used to. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about what I've been thinking about. A couple of tools I love. So, the definition of technology is a man-made tool that makes our life easier. So a toothbrush is considered technology. I love to make the comparison between dental hygiene and money hygiene, and what are those daily things that we can do that just take a few minutes that really do make a considerable impact in the health of our relationship with money. So here are some of my favorite tools to smooth out and enrich my relationship with money and keep it healthy. So number one is EMDR, which is a type of therapy which honestly I wish I had found out about earlier, because it's one of the least distressing forms of therapy, in my opinion. And I'm sure this, everybody does a little differently, and everyone's experience is often very different. But it's one of those tools that really helps us to get into the emotional and often subconscious knots or bumps or stuckness that's rooted in our childhood experiences that create patterns of safety and neural pathways that cause us to act in less than supportive ways in our relationships in our present life. And all money comes through relationship, right? So at the heart, money conversations are relationship conversations. So EMDR allows you to process emotional responses to those sticky memories or triggers that affect you day to day and come up day to day, even if they are, seemingly irrational. Like I talk in my book a lot about how my experience with money has been very emotional, and that directly connected back to childhood experiences of sexual trauma and emotional abuse that I had associated with money, or was getting triggered by money because of its direct impact on my safety and security. So EMDR allows you to process those emotional responses to those sticky memories or triggers that affect you day to day that are rooted in the past. And of the many different approaches I've explored for emotional healing, trauma recovery, and emotional support for transformation, that's really been a really huge part of allowing me to reach new levels of power over my emotion, and just to be able to take care of myself in a way that allows me to operate at higher levels. This is one of the tools that I absolutely love and continue to use. And I believe it has the most bang for its buck, and I wish I had discovered it sooner. You don't really have to talk about past painful memories. You don't even need to name your emotions or translate your experiences into word. It really is a somatic experience that allows the emotional intensity and neural habitual responses to change on an unconscious level. And, being with your body and processing those emotions in a safe container, it can bring you fresh insights and understanding that can really give you immense power in your choices and behavior that may have felt previously out of reach due to emotional intensity or triggers or protective mechanisms. So if you're curious about working with an EMDR trained therapist, there are 2 websites where you can search with this keyword that I've discovered. One of them is headway.co and the other one is helloalma.com, and these are obviously in the US. So sometimes it can take a little bit of hunting around to find somebody, but it's so worth it when you find the right person. So the next tool that is just, that old trusty classic, like the toothbrush that works over and over every time you pick it up, is money mindset journaling. And I've got this routine dialed down to setting a timer for 3 minutes, writing out my income goal, asking my mind, why can't I have this month? And then brain dumping all of the stories, all of the reasons why I believe I can't have my money goal this month. And doing that for 3 minutes. Then when the pinger goes off, reset the timer for 3 minutes and cross them each out and write a new story. Write a story that you wish was true, write one that feels expansive, and add them to your master belief doc. Like, I like to collect all of these news stories and then I'll record a meditation with these. I'm actually working on some new ones for you. But the most important thing to remember when you're rewriting these stories is to notice the inspired ideas that bubble up as you do this in the process, and take action on those. Take action on those insights that have come up because you created the shift, because you stepped out of that limiting thought pattern. Take action on them immediately. Get used to being in that flow of making money moves, doing it from an energy that feels like possibility and openness. Do this consistently daily and watch your cash flow change. Like, this is just the classic that works over and over and over again. And so often we resist the classics, right? We're like, oh no, I need a new fancy robot to like change my brain or whatever. But the power is always in our hands. So this is a quick one to shift stagnation, shift resistance to momentum, which we all experience, right? And those old patterns will continue to crop up. And our capacity to not give our power away to them is to know the tools that we have in our toolbox to lean on when those old patterns come up, so that we can move through it faster and we don't cause it to put us into paralysis for 2 months. We have the power to create money. We have the power to create different results. We have the power to focus. We have the power to create the solutions and the support that we need and desire.
Creative Magic Club. What's up? This is Sarah Mack and welcome to Creative Magic Club. Together, we'll discover inspirational stories of creative entrepreneurs living out their dreams, doing the work they are most passionate about, and building wealth in magical and fun ways. While building a 6-figure income as a writer and coach, helping other women to launch their dream businesses, I've connected with so many incredible people and seen it proven again and again that you can thrive financially doing whatever it is you are passionate about. I am here to share life-changing strategies for mindset, making money, and reaching more people with your work in a business and life filled with creativity, freedom, and fun.
Hi, Sarah Mack here from withsarahmack.com, and I have a special treat for you today. It is Libra season, and I've actually gone and designed some money mindset alignment journaling prompts for you for the season to help you make more money, be more abundant, break some of those toxic, unhelpful patterns, and basically take it to the next level in your relationship with money. So what we have upcoming, so honestly, nothing is more powerful than doing this work daily, other than obviously working with me. If you've been feeling like you're ready to turn a corner in your relationship with money, reach out, book a private intensive. We can use that 90-minute call time to do a money mindset deep dive to really, get the flashlight out and examine your beliefs and to shift them together, and for you to feel supported in that process. Just message me and we can chat about, how we could spend that time together on a money mindset deep dive if that's calling you. But definitely check out my free meditation under the freebies tab on my website with sarahmack.com. It's called the Creative Money Meditation. I put some of my core beliefs in there. Listen to it daily. One of my clients calls it positive brainwashing. She made 18K in a few weeks, booked a trip to go and write her next book. Obviously, taking that inspiration and that momentum and turning it into action is the piece that actually brings the payday at the end of all of this mindset work. But it works. It works when you show up for it and you do it consistently. I also have another really great free training series called the Creative Cash Flow Accelerator, also under the freebies tab on my website. Definitely check it out. So the next tool, which is just, been really powerful for me, that's free and available whenever you need it, which is another reason I love this tool, is emotional freedom tapping. So similarly to how EMDR helps you shift on an unconscious level and kind of create new wirings around emotional resistance or stagnation or survival mechanisms, rooted in childhood that have turned into habits, behaviors, and thought loops that are impacting your relationship with money. Emotional freedom tapping, it puts a full stop in the sentence. It starts to creates release around emotions that have really just been trying to keep you safe. So Jennifer Partridge has a channel on YouTube called Dream Awake. She's got so many videos on there. You can also Google using keywords like I'm feeling resistance, I'm feeling sadness, I'm feeling fear, I'm feeling fear of judgment and criticism, like pretty much anything you're experiencing that you've identified as holding you back from making the moves to, do the work and create the results that you desire. Google it, Google with EFT and YouTube, and there'll be a video that will help you to just shift some of that powerful unconscious emotion that's kind of keeping you in a holding pattern. Obviously, you can do this with a coach or a mentor. It takes, you have to have quite a lot of motivation to do this by yourself, because it's not always fun, right? To sit there and to like cry like a baby or to feel really uncomfortable emotions that we tend to avoid. But this is the work. This is the uncomfortable work that makes a difference. So obviously investing in working with someone, having that support, having some skin in the game, knowing that this is a high resistance activity, that's always going to help you. Or find an accountability buddy. I used to, with one of my friends, we'd just put a time on the calendar where we committed to doing that ourselves and reporting back. Just having someone who's holding you accountable to doing this work, whatever it takes for you to get it done, because it will make a difference. And I used this a lot in the beginning of my work with money, and I was getting really big results. So that really incentivized me to do it weekly while I was in a long-term container with my coach. And if you know that's you and you know that about yourself, like prioritize it, put it on the calendar, make an investment, get some support, go through a period of really focusing on this work. And obviously, if that's not an option for you right now or a priority for you right now, schedule it, find a friend who wants to do it, sit down and do the work together. So I actually just decided to add my Create Money the Fun Way 12-week training program to my 3-month private Voxer mentorship package, because this work is just non-negotiable. And it's really the easiest way to get results is to have that consistent, long-term, ongoing support with it. So yeah, this is the Pluto work of like, let's just take a look at our pain for a moment here. Let's clean it up. Let's really tend to and take care of ourselves, because that is ultimately going to be the thing that allows us to access more power. And yeah, my clients always create results. The ones who commit to doing this with consistency, even for 5 to 20 minutes a day, right? Really going all in, really translating these mindset shifts into action. People have booked dream gigs with collaborators beyond their wildest dreams. People have, left their job to launch and successfully launch their dream business, attracted incredible clients, made tens of thousands of dollars in a matter of weeks, landed festival invitations, booked trips. The list is endless. This work is super, super powerful, and it helps you get what you want. So if you want a little bit more support and you want to get started and go deeper into some of this work, I do have an amazing bundle, the Money Mindset Detox bundle, with trainings, a PDF guide, meditations, my EFT video to get over resistance to doing this work. And I outlined the whole process I used to double my income 2 years in a row and hit my first 6-figure year doing work I love while living a life of creative fulfillment and more freedom than ever. So I'm going to add the link in the notes for you. So let's dive into some prompts for you to do a deep dive to see what comes up for you around the seasonal energies of Pluto in Aquarius. So get your rubber gloves on, folks, and let's dive in. First prompt, What relationships have been causing me the most pain lately? Name the feelings, write them out. I feel ... Allow yourself to really feel it in your body, to name or describe your experience as best you can. Where do you feel it in your body? And surround yourself with a ball of white light. Smother yourself in love and compassion. Allow yourself to be real with yourself and to feel and to be with those feelings. You can do this. You are so brave. You are courageous. You are big and strong. You can feel those big, scary feelings. You will survive and they won't last forever, I promise you. Give them a chance. What is the message that these feelings carry with them? Where does this story originate? And it's okay if you don't know the answer to this question. Know that in simply asking these powerful questions, the answers will come over time. And most importantly, ask yourself, how would I most like to be supported in this? What tools or technology do I desire to add to my life, my routine, my self-care regimen that will uplift me around this? See what comes up for you. Because before we can overflow and support more other people in our communities, we have to strongly fortify ourselves. The more structure we can bring in around the support, the more consistent and impactful our efforts will be. Really, the missing piece is always more support. Whatever that next level dream or vision or goal you're holding, the fact that you've identified that desire and vision means that you are capable of it. And the thing that closes the gap between where you are now and having it is always going to be more support. So you get to identify what kind of support most serves and supports you in this moment to bring you that extra level of power and strength to reach to those high next levels of, soaring in your dreams. So this isn't about a one-shot hypnotherapy appointment or energy healing or coaching call and then trying to do the rest by yourself. Create consistent, ongoing structures of support in whatever way is most accessible to you right now. So make sure there's always something there supporting you in this work through every season. Be resourceful, be adaptable, create community, allow that support in. And support always shows up when we seek it out, even when we think we don't have the resources or the time or whatever the story is. We have the space, we have the resources, we have the support available when we just allow ourselves to let it in. So, next prompt, now we've addressed some of the wounds, let's address our strengths. So Aquarius is all about the genius, the revolutionary, the truth teller, like the eccentric inventor, the innovator, right? So I want you we all have that within us. We all have a seed of innovation and contribution that the world and our community needs. So let's water it. Let's give it a fertile and inviting environment in which for it to grow and to thrive, because you're needed. The unique medicine that you bring is so, so needed, and it is the answer. So it's your job to create the environment in which you can thrive. So let's identify your strength and your genius to make it easier for you to do that. So answer this prompt. If every person alive whose life could be positively impacted by your work suddenly had access to you, let's say you were handed a microphone on a world stage and you had time to deliver one message, what would that message be? What do you feel is most important for your people to know? The people who can truly listen, absorb, integrate, and transform as a result of your message. What do you want them to know? Journal it out, see what comes up for you. Next, answer this. What could you speak to for hours on end? If you were stuck in an elevator with a dream client who you know you had the power to help them deeply transform, what would you share with them? What are your most valuable and favorite topics to talk on that you know are so important to our evolution? It's time to get honest, right? What are you so good at? What can you do with your eyes closed? What have you mastered already? What qualities do you possess that contribute to your genius in this area? So after answering these questions, what ideas are bubbling up for you? For ways that you can share your genius, your truth, your ideas, your dreams and visions with the world? What's one way that you can create an opportunity to share your gifts in return for payment starting today? Go and make a move on this within the next 24 hours. Take this inspiration and run with it. Use your insights from this process to infuse your actions with fresh ideas, inspiration, and momentum. I hope that you've loved what I've shared with you in this episode, and I would absolutely love to hear what came up for you. Send me an email, sarah@withsarahmac.com, or DM me on Instagram, Creative Magic Club, or on Facebook if we're connected over there. And I ask that you please support the show by going over to iTunes and leaving a 5-star review. And please do remember to share this with a friend who you know would love it. So I'm sending you so much big love to living creatively free and to you shining over the next 20 years and accessing next levels of power in super fun, financially freeing and impactful ways that leave the world a better place. So sending you so much love, and I will see you next week. Bye.
For more inspirational content, head over to my website withsarahmac.com, and please support the show by liking, commenting, and subscribing.